Hello guys, Sirgrandalot here. I wanted to give you another practical video about the difference between an anomaly mastery disk and an attack percentage disk in the slot 6 for Jane, and in this test I used the Seth as well. This is my Seth build. It's extremely low investment, but it doesn't matter too much. The only difference would be the buff. This is my Jane Doe's build with an anomaly mastery disk. For this test in the training room I used the Big Mac at level 70 and I didn't want it to attack back because introducing dodge means that every enemy's attack pattern would matter and it becomes too difficult to properly evaluate things in a vacuum. And on the screen you can see the timestamps at which Jane Doe triggers an assault. With an anomaly mastery disk, she triggered the first assault just before the 6-second mark, the second one at 11 seconds, and the big mecha dude was dead around 17 seconds into the fight. And this is my Jane Doe's build with an attack percentage disk in the slot 6. Test was done in exactly the same way, so setting up his buff and then back to Jane doing her own, all her swinging stuff. I didn't want to introduce a third character because variables become too many and I do not have a lot of characters and I do not have a lot of engines, so it is what it is. First assault just after the 7-second mark, second assault at 14 seconds and the last assault at... it's taking a bit longer, 23 seconds and change. The annoying part about this test is that Jane Doe's performance varies quite significantly based on the enemies that you fight. Because, for example, if you look at the stats that are on screen, the damage that my Jane Doe deals with an assault trigger and how long it takes her to actually trigger it, the clearing time with an anomaly mastery disk is much faster, significantly faster in terms of percentage, because 23 seconds against 17 we are talking almost about 25% faster clear. The issue is there can be some enemies that have an amount of hit points that allows the attack percentage disk in the slot 6 to kill it in, let's say, 3 assaults, while an anomaly mastery disk, which deals a bit more damage, requires a 4th one. And in that case, the two would be very comparable. If an attack disk kills something in 2 hits, but an anomaly mastery disk requires 3, then the attack percentage disk is actually better. By a small margin, but it's better. So, which one is better for you? I don't know, because Jane Doe's damage output is not something that can easily be put on a spreadsheet. Or rather, you can put it in a spreadsheet and say this is the number, but there are too many variables. Not just about things like the substats in your disks, your team composition and all that sort of stuff, but also which enemies are you fighting? What are they doing? Do they attack you very often, allowing you to keep up the passion state, or are they duds who don't do much and the passion state has a shorter duration? Do they die in 3 assaults or 4? Does the attack percentage disk allows you to kill things with 1 fewer assault, or is it the same as the anomaly mastery disk? It's impossible to put on a spreadsheet. Also because you have your own Jane Doe. You know which engine you are using, you know which disks you are using, so the performance of your Jane Doe in the content that you're clearing is not going to be the same compared to the Jane Doe of other people. If the number on screen look completely off to you, my Jane Doe has the cinema too. And her first 2 cinemas are huge damage increases, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference for this test because this kind of result, outside of the raw numbers, which are of course higher, is not going to vary a lot based on the cinemas that you have. The best thing that I can suggest you to do is run a test similar to this, and especially if you are on PC and you have OBS, it's going to be very easy for you to tell, oh okay, with an anomaly mastery disk I clear things 10-15 seconds quicker, or with an attack percentage disk you clear things, with one fewer assault trigger, and things are much easier. And substats are also very important, because if you had an anomaly mastery disk with very good substats, then you are triggering assaults more often while also providing a good amount of damage to them. Because you can get attack percentage as a substat in an anomaly mastery disk, but not the other way around. On an attack percentage disk you cannot get anomaly mastery substat. So anomaly mastery main stat with attack percentage and anomaly proficiency substats overall is going to outperform an attack percentage disk. Is this kind of optimization extremely important? At the moment it's not. Absolutely not. With Jane Doe, even before I started to unlock her cinemas, I was soloing the hardest content in the game, because she's an extremely strong character. Is there any content in the game that requires us to perfectly optimize a full rotation and finding out which team is the best one for her? No. If you want to do it, don't look at other people's spreadsheets and calculation. It's better for you to do it with your own Jane, because only those results are going to perfectly fit and match the performance of your Jane. I know it's annoying, I know it's going to take a bit of time, and it would be nicer to just look at a spreadsheet and say, oh, this option is better. But unfortunately Jane Doe is not that kind of character. But it doesn't take a lot of work, and if you really enjoy playing her, I believe it's worth it to spend a bit of time doing some testing. As a side note, I'm using a physical damage disc. I do not have a single attack percentage disc in slot 5 from the Fanged Metal set, so please don't ask me to test between physical damage and attack percentage, because first, I cannot. Second, physical damage is better, especially because you can get attack percentage substat. The other way around it's not possible, but the difference between the two is not particularly huge. It's just that if you use an attack percentage disc in slot 5, when you share your build with other people, it has higher attack and it looks like ho, cool. But it would be better to have a physical damage disc with attack percentage and anomaly proficiency substats, even if, at the end of the day your attack looks lower, but Jane Doe is actually performing better that way.